Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to AppSecBytes. Today we are delving deep in depth analysis of the security vulnerability one-click account takeover by the Deeplinks in the Kayak Android application. So today we will break down and thoroughly analyze that code, how the attacker can abuse this vulnerability to take over the user's account by sending a link. Let's go. Okay, so let's go to the vulnerable activity. So as we know already, this activity is vulnerable. So let's go into the code. So let's check the onCreate method first, because whenever an activity instance is created, then the onCreate method will be triggered first. So here the first check will be if the bundle is equal to null, then the custom string boolean value set to true, and that external auth log info is set to also null. So this is the our first point, because whenever an activity is initiated, then the bundle value by default set to null. So if the activity is recreated, so if any device configuration changes like rotation, so then the activity have to be restore their state. So the bundle is used to restore the state basically. Okay, so let's scroll down. Okay, the on new intent. Okay, and the on intent will be called whenever the activity instance is created, and then the if any intent was to that application, yeah, that activity, then the on new intent method will be called. So here is nothing interesting. Okay, yeah, so the interesting second point is this. The second interesting point is this. So here, if the custom tab string value is set to true, then this condition will be triggered. So as we already know, in the onCreate method, by onCreate method, the custom tab string is set to true. So here this condition will be triggered, and in this condition the custom method launch custom tabs method will be triggered. So let's open this method. So it's basically creating a URI, but in the URI method it's passing get redirect URI. So what is this? Okay, so this is the main vulnerable component, because here is no validation check on that intent. So that method returning the string extra, and what is string extra? Get intent dot string extra, and with the key, this key. So whatever the intent sending to that activity with the extra key, that will be returned by that method. Okay, and using this method append query parameter, it's appending a query parameter to that URL with the name sid. And what is sid basically? So sid is basically, oh yeah, so the sid basically means the session id. Okay, and after it, it's passing all the, it's passing the activity instance, the session id, and the URI to the open custom tab method. So what will happen in open custom tab? It's sending activity d variable UI dvar2. Okay, okay, so let's map this. Okay, so dvar2 value is null that we are passing, and dvar and the URI b10. Okay, okay, so the package name, the first is checking the package name to use. If package name used is equal to null, because is I think this package name is never not to be null, because the package name here checking this method, and here resolving that activity and that all the classes, and after it he's returning the package name. Okay, so this method will be not executed, and after it it's setting the package name, and it's passing the activity and that URI to that diva.a method. So let's open that a method. So in the a method, in the application context, URI, and setting the set data, and after it it is calling this method. What is this? A.m. In A.m, this, and what is this? Yeah, this is bundle. Okay, okay, let's open this code. Okay, if the build version SDK is greater than equal to 16, then this method will trigger. In this method there is intent, there is context, and the bundle will be passed. And let's, okay, so at the end it's starting that activity. In that activity, intent and bundle will be passed. So why it's exactly vulnerable? So let's map all the points all together. Okay, so the first, on resume method, the launch custom tag will be triggered. So in the launch custom tab, the session ID parameter SID and the URI that will be came from the get intent, and after it it's launching a open custom tab method, and in the open custom tab this method will be called, and after this method will be called diva.a. So in a method, it's in intent, it's setting its intent dot set data. In that method it's setting the URI that is passing, and after it am method is called. In the am method, this method, after this method is starting that activity with the intent and bundle. So if an attacker open that activity and send uh, get redact URI, means if the attaker send the intent with the string extra, like okay, so let's open that activity with intent. So we are simply launching the deep link, and in the deep link we are passing simply string extra into the intent, the URL https://bing.com. So let's check. Yeah, the application directly launched the bing.com in the custom tab. So let's use the webhook to gather the session ID. So before stealing the session ID, so let's log in into that application. Okay, we launch that, we install, we log in into the application. So we can use webhook to listen the request. So let's copy this, and okay, and here is the session ID of that victim. So the question is how we can steal that user session ID, the Kayak Android application session ID, with the help of link. So the browser also support the intent schema. So we can create a intent schema and host to that any server, and when we send to that server link to the user, when the user open the link, then the Kayak Android application will be triggered, and the session ID of that user will be sent to that our server. So let's check this. So I just created one HTML page. Here the href intent schema. So here is the host, here is the scheme, here is the package name, and here the action. And with the help of s means string dot, what is the key? The key is here, and what the URL will be passing, that the URL we are passing. Okay, so let's, okay, so we are good to go then. Okay, so let's open that URL into the browser. Okay, so let's open the URL. Okay, let's zoom. So here is the HTML file. So let's open that file. Wait. Okay, so let's check our book. Yeah, we got another, but this time we are getting null. I don't know why. So let's try again. I think this time we got, yeah, we got SID, the session ID of that user. So so that's why the vulnerability is one click account takeover. Okay, so how can we trace this type of vulnerability in mobile apps? So for tracing this type of vulnerability, we have to look upon intents, what we are getting intents, what data we are passing. So that we have to look upon the things. So for automating this stuff, we can use Medusa and RMS. So for this video, I am just showing Medusa, how the Medusa works and how can we trace all the intent data. So let's proceed. So there's modules, intents module, incoming intents, outgoing intents, intent creation monitor, and the pending intents. So let's open our application. Okay, so now you can trace all the intents, the application sending and incoming and outgoing and the incoming intents. So let's send the intent. Okay, so let's fire. Okay, so here's the data that we are passing as https bing.com, the package name con.android chrome, and it's get extras, custom tag, directly sending text in view, the start activity for result, and so there is that tracing of that intent. And if we want to trace all the methods, so whenever we launch this, what method will be called? So for that, we can use objection and also the frida. So